And welcome to the Game of Nerds. It is a fall domination TV hangout. Part two is October 17th, and we're here with all these lovely ladies and dude. Um, we are the Game of Nerds. This is our Google Hangout. First off, you can find us at thegameofnerds.com. We have a lot of cool stuff, so please make sure you check us out. Today we're going to be covering all the TV shows, or some TV shows, sorry, premiering this month in October. So first off, let's introduce the new faces. So you've seen John before. Say hi. You've
Say
seen
hi.
Charlie before. Say hi.
Stop.
You've seen Hosty. No, you've not seen Hosty.
No.
Say hi anyway. So Hosty, we have Hosty.
Hi.
Introduce yourself. Say hi.
Hi. I'm Hassie. That's about it.
All right. We have Bridget joining us today as well.
Hi.
And we have Alex.
Hi.
Okay. So first off, John's going to start us off. We're going to he's covering The Leftovers and The Walking Dead. So go ahead and start us off with The Leftovers, John, and tell us about The Leftovers.
The Leftovers is probably the craziest show that I've ever watched. Season 2 is completely different than Season 1. Season 1 took place in Appleton, New York. Season 2, they kind of revamped the whole script, and they moved to a place called Miracle, Texas. They only kept, well, so far, a few cast members from the original series, but if you happened to watch last year and you didn't have any idea what in the world is going on, nothing has changed in regards for Season 2. To take it into context, they started off with, they put you into caveman days, and you just see this cave family, and this pregnant lady comes out, and she goes out to look at the moon. Next thing you know, earthquake happens, the rest of the family gets trapped, and then she shockingly gives birth, and she's walking around naked with this baby, and then the baby gets attacked by a snake, and then she fights off the snake, she dies, and then some random lady comes and picks up the baby, and then they pan to current day. What is that exactly? I know you're kind of looking at me all confused. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's how they started off this season. So then I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I don't know what is really going on. It was so crazy that I actually messaged Shannon about 30 minutes in. I told her I had to pause it. I'm like, this is going to make absolutely no sense. This is the craziest review I've ever done. I just want you to know that I'm not really on anything, that this is really what is happening in this show. So.
Hey. So, real quick, so for us who haven't seen the first season, can you just give us a quick recap of what happens?
Absolutely.
Because I have no idea what the show's about.
Okay, so then what happens is basically everybody's just living their life, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they have a disappearance, and an undisclosed amount of people literally just vanish into thin air. People are driving their vehicles, and the vehicles are still moving. People are in the middle of, doing plays and doing shows. They vanish, and no one knows why, how, or where they've gone. So then you have obviously two different belief systems, I guess you could say, is the whole religious side, when this is a rapture and we deserve this, and then the whole other side where they don't understand and they want to try and find where their family members are and keep hope. And I would say in the first season, the religious group was the antagonist and was the, I guess you could say that the enemies. They would not talk, but they would randomly show up in houses of people that had departures to scare them, to leave them notes. They even went as far as they got a bunch of dummies, made them to look the exact way of the family members they lost, and then broke into their houses and put them in the positions that they were at when they left. So if you come home one day and then all of a sudden you see the mannequins of your husband and your two kids at the dinner table eating breakfast, which is what they were doing when they left. I don't know how they figured this all out. Like I said, The Leftovers is a crazy show. So that's how the whole thing started. There was, like I said, there's a bunch of struggles and battles, and the main family decided that they were going to move to Miracle, Texas, which was called Miracle because this was the only town in America that didn't have any departures whatsoever. So they thought they were lucky because of being called Miracle and this happening. So then the main family wanted to move there because they thought that this was safe and somewhere special to be. As we kind of learned through in episode 2, I see a question. Go ahead.
No, there's not a question.
We're waiting because Shannon just joined.
Hi guys!
I got excited.
I finally imagined. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta shut the door. Sorry. Continue. Whatever you were discussing. I love you guys.
Cool.
Miracle, Texas, the main family moved in.
Yeah. So the main family they do get a house to make. I mean, make a long story short there. Nora, one of the main characters, gets $3 million for her house because MIT has a grant where they want to research the departures and they think there's something special in that house. So they pay her $3 million when she was only asking for $600,000. So then they go to Miracle, Texas, thinking that they got lucky to rent a place, which burnt down. So she went immediately to an auction and just bid $3 million on the house sight unseen because they wanted to go into Miracle, Texas so bad. MIT thought that the departures happened once and that there's no reason why they wouldn't happen again. To the tail end of episode 1 and then episode 2, which kind of worked together, there was another departure event that happened. So I guess you could say that MIT was correct. And the interesting thing is one of the main characters did depart, but he departed actually to a different side of town, and when he was bound, he had his leg was tied to a cinder block in the bottom of the ravine. So we don't know how he got there, you know, what that is about. And so that was the first glimpse where you can think that if someone does depart, that they're actually still on Earth somewhere. I mean, that's pretty much what I got for you. So
are you saying like they're just, instead of being like gone and transported and dead, they're like getting just transported to a different part of the world?
It's possible because the main character, you know, the main former cop, he actually did depart in the end of episode 2, and he departed to another side of town, which was the same place that the next door neighbors, they had some departures too. So this is the first time you've seen someone depart, but then you actually see them again in the series somewhere else. So then it just kind of opens up the whole other aspect is, if all these departures happen, where are they? And how do they not know how to get back or to contact loved ones or whoever? So it's kind of, you start to think you have an idea of what's going on, and then they just kind of, like I said, they just reshuffle the script, and then you're just kind of even more confused than before.
So if you were to have to describe the show to someone who wanted to watch this, would you basically recap it as saying a bunch of people disappear, you don't know what happens, and
Still don't know what's going to happen.
I would say, I mean, you'd have, yeah, it's definitely rated R, and in some cases, you know, even more than that. So you actually have to make sure that, you know, young ones are not watching it. You have to kind of be okay with religion and some of the different extreme religion talk, and then I guess you could say religion bashing, because it kind of goes both ways. So if you're kind of like on one side of the fence, this isn't the show for you. If you can kind of separate real life through TV, then, you know, I think that would be something that you'd be okay with.
Okay. Which network does it premiere on, by the way?
It started 2 Sundays ago on HBO.
Okay, HBO. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
All right. Sweet. Now sounds good. So go ahead and talk to us about The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead's awesome. It is so different than The Leftovers. It's amazing.
You know, here's the best part, is every time like anyone asks me about Walking Dead, I automatically refer to him. I'm like, yeah, go talk to John, the zombie guy. Just go talk to the zombie guy. Because when John interviewed for his position at Game of Nerds, his first thing was like, oh yeah, I keep a kill count of all the zombies and all the people who've died. I'm like, yeah, you're sold, you can have it, like it's yours. Keep it, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm a little behind on that, but yeah, I think I'm all caught up through season 4. I have my chart somewhere I could, but yeah, that's true. That's how nerdy I am in regards to the show. But Walking Dead is amazing. And I read the comics, so I kind of have an idea of what you can kind of expect to happen. Obviously, it's always not the same. There's a lot of differences between the comics and the characters. If you happen to catch the first episode, of season 6, they, like I was talking about with the previous hangout, I think they had like 650 bodies that they wanted to use as walkers just for this episode. And you could definitely tell why. They had them in a big rock quarry ravine. You could probably say thousands and thousands of walkers that were just in there, just a short distance from Alexandria. They had to decide how, had to figure out how to get rid of the whole herd because they couldn't just go in and go hand to hand or shoot them. And then when they went to go do their recon, they riled up the walkers enough where there's two 18-wheelers on both sides that were kind of pinned together to keep them in place, but they riled up the walkers enough where they just kind of broke through. And essentially their whole plan was to lure them down the roads and just kind of divert them away from Alexandria itself. It was a very interesting episode. It was very scary, like I mentioned before. Their musical score is top-notch. They always kind of amp up the danger and then lull you into a false sense of security. They lost some people, not really main characters, but they lost some important characters. They've lost the only two people that have ever known how to build defense and to reinforce defense. So I think that is obviously going to be something to look for in future episodes. I think they kind of played off, trying to say like Morgan and Rick are going to be having a clash, but they seem to be working hand in hand pretty well. I don't know if that's exactly going to happen, but we definitely are going to have to see the wolves. Actually, episode 2 is going to be pretty intense. When they tried to lead all the walkers away, there was an unknown horn that alerted all the walkers to Alexandria, so they are actually going to be at the gates. I would assume they're going to be coming in, so that's going to be pretty crazy. If they follow the storyline in the comics, you'll see a main character suffer some sort of irreplaceable damage to his person, and it's going to be pretty intense.
Someone's losing a limb. Someone's losing a limb, or either they're dead or they lose a limb. There is no in between in The Walking Dead.
Well,
I'll check that bet.
If I can interject, I heard this season supposedly, oh my God, why can't I think of it? Either Carl or Rick, something's gonna happen to him. Now that's the rumors I had floating around the interwebs. That one of those two. Now I have some comic book knowledge from you, John, so I don't know the timelines of when those things happen to both of them, but I know 2 things have happened to both of those characters. So are we on the same page? Do you think that might happen to those 2 characters?
In regards to, yes, it's going to be one of those 2 characters. Robert Kirkman already said that one of the things that he put one of the characters through in the comics he would not do in the live shows or in the actual TV series because he thought that was a mistake. He said of all of the things he's ever done in the 10-year-plus run of the comics, that was his only regret. So you have a 50% chance of picking which character and which situation it is, Nico. In regards to that, you try and figure out which one was worse, to try and play off going forward for the TV show.
Okay.
John, I have a question for you. So you covered both the Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead this season, and you kind of have a good grasp on both of them. If you had to tell someone to pick one zombie show, which show would you make them watch and why?
Oh, come on. You're going to make him pick that? I think we all know what it is.
I mean, well, I guess you're going to... Right now, it's really not comparing apples to apples because, one has 5 seasons to go off of and one has 5 episodes to go off of. So I would say
How about
most.
it? First season versus first season now. You can say that.
I would still say the regular Walking Dead, just because I think it had a little more going on. Everybody I talk to always circles back to the same thing: is that the regular series never gives you any insight on how things started or why things started or what they thought, which is always weird because all of the characters that were there, except maybe Rick, were alive and awake during the whole process, but none of them have ever said anything. So everybody's always like, well, what happened? Like, what happened when it started? What caused this? And then we finally get a show for it, and everybody's like, oh, it's not, there's not enough zombies, and it's not enough action-packed. And it's just like, well, you wanted the backstory on what happened, now you got it, and, you're not.
I think the most annoying part about Fear the Walking Dead for me is sitting there going, did you not learn have you not learned anything? And then I have to realize, no, they haven't learned anything because they don't know anything about zombies. But, leaving the doors open, not locking anything behind you, that's, why? Why are you doing this? You know you're a dead man. You're dead. You're done.
The survivors in Fear the Walking Dead are idiots, so I would love to have a spin-off show where you could see all the deaths of people that are stupider than them and that have actually died and got caught by the walkers, because if you got somebody that's literally eating a dog and you go up and try and talk to them like they're a live person, I mean, what did the dead person do that, it definitely it definitely boggles the mind, and you're kind of rolling your eyes a lot when you watch Fear the Walking Dead, especially if you watch the regular show at the beginning. But I mean, they're taking it. Fear the Walking Dead, they're taking a different direction. Instead of going, more into the United States, they went west. I mean, they are started in L.A., but they are going to be going on Abigail, which is a yacht, so they're going to be going out on the ocean and kind of doing a whole different, scenario there. So that'll be interesting to see.
Oh, that's true.
So, do you think we'll ever meet any of the Walking Dead characters in Fear the Walking Dead?
If you asked me about a month ago, I would say no, because if that happens, then you would be safe to assume that one of the shows would be canceled because they're both on the same network, and I think that they would, that would kind of be a death wish in regards to, at least one of the shows. I would say maybe if one show is getting canceled and then they go up against the other show, which obviously I think is the regular Walking Dead, that maybe there is a struggle and they off certain members of Fear the Walking Dead and some of the survivors would join them. You never know. If you watch one of the Talking Dead, one of the producers said that no one ever really asked what or where I forget her name, the main female character on Fear the Walking Dead, where she's from, and he was kind of hinting that she might be having she might have a relative back east, so he's kind of making something that she might be related to Daryl, or she might be related to Rick, or there's some way that they might say, oh, you know what, after the whole boat thing doesn't work out, maybe let's just let's go try and meet up with family members in the east. So I mean, in the Walking Dead world, you never say never, but I wouldn't bet on it.
The only thing that I'd have to say against that is the fact that it is taking so long for the group in The Walking Dead to get, from point A to point B or whatever, that, in my opinion, if they followed that same timeline, it would be season fucking 50 of The Walking Dead when they finally get Midwest, I'm
talking about, time travel. You know what I mean? It wouldn't
well,
be...
now she's talking time travel. Let's talk about Doctor Who now. God damn. Sorry, go ahead.
It'll be interesting to see how they cross them over, because AMC, they are milking the zombie thing to the end, and they're taking it, and they know they've got us, especially with The Walking Dead. So I won't be surprised to see what we won't see is The Walking Dead coming on Fear the Walking Dead. What we'll end up seeing is people from Fear the Walking Dead ending up on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's going to be a long ways, because season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead, timeline-wise, it hasn't even caught to when Rick got out of his coma. So if that happens, I mean, it's a long ways away.
We got a while. So okay, so after seeing this first episode, because second episode premieres tomorrow, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So seeing as that, can you give us from last hangout to this hangout after seeing first episode? Can you give us any new theories of what you expect to see this season after seeing the first episode?
No, I would say, I mean, from what I've seen, I think everything kind of falls in line. I think they're playing up the wolves more than they do in the comics. A lot of people are thinking that Nagon is going to be showing up in season 6, and I still don't see that happening. I think there's still a lot of storyline and things that they can play with. So I really don't see anything changing so far, no.
Well, cool. All right. Well, anything else you have to say in regards to Walking Dead? All right. Let's go ahead and go to Bridget then. Bridget, you're covering SNL this season.
Yes.
So why don't you give us a quick recap of last season? I don't know. Just go ahead. Take the reins. Let's talk about SNL.
All right. Well, season 41 started on October 3rd with Miley Cyrus, and ratings were up from last season's season premiere, which had Chris Pratt. But I think that had a lot to do with it just being an election year and everybody wanting to see Trump jokes and things like that. I feel like that may have played a little more versus Miley hosting, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. We didn't lose any cast members, which is interesting because usually you lose some featuring people, but they gained John Rudnitsky, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, as a featured player, which I think will be interesting. First, I just kind of thought, oh, another white guy. We have a lot of those already. But he was in the first episode a lot. So hopefully he has a lot to add. And I don't mean anything negative by that at all. I just meant it's always good to see maybe specific impressions be added or things like that. I was really excited to see Taron Killam play Donald Trump because I love Taron, but I'll always think of Daryl Hammond as Donald Trump because he's always done such a good job. But he is returning as Bill Clinton, which I'm excited about because he also does that amazing, and I can't imagine anybody else playing Bill Clinton. So I thought Taron did a really good job. And I was happy to see Hillary surprised.
That was an awesome skit. That was an awesome skit, hands down. Like, that was the best one of the entire night.
I agree completely. That was my favorite one. I kind of read some rumors leading up to it that she was going to be on, so it wasn't a complete surprise, but Kate McKinnon does such a good job as Hillary, and I loved Amy as Hillary, but I think Kate kind of brings something different to it, so it's not like you can separate the two impressions, and I thought she did a good job. And Amy Schumer's episode, I don't know if everybody got that one, but my favorite, I think, was the monologue, but usually when stand-ups host, it usually is the monologue just because that's what they do the best, and that's their job. But she had a lot of really funny sketches. And Tracy's hosting tonight, which I'm really excited about. I've got my 30 Rock shirt on. I'm representing. I'm really hoping for Tina to come on. Tina or Alec. I kind of have my hopes up for that, and possibly some other former cast members to make an appearance. So
I think tonight's going to be a big night just for Tracy, and I think because he comes from an SNL background, he comes from an NBC background, they're going to really support him, back him, and come out, you know, jam-packed with the celebrities and everything. The one thing that I have noticed from SNL this season is that Weekend Update seems so much, like, it seems so much cleaner, and they finally have understand, like, where they're positioned. Like, last year it seemed like they weren't too sure of themselves, and now they're like, okay, I know where I stand, and I got this.
I can see that. I'm still very partial to like the Jimmy, Tina, Amy, Seth era, but I don't want to be just set in my ways. I want to be, you know, accepting, but I'm still kind of getting used to it. But I do agree with you. I do think that they're much more comfortable with it this season versus last. Does anybody else have anything to add? Sorry.
No, you're good. So the only thing I was going to say was, do you have any? Well, it's different with SNL, but do you have any rumors of anything upcoming this season we can look forward to? any guest stars, anything people should know about?
Well, Donald Trump is hosting 3 weeks from tonight, November 7th. So I think the next 2 weeks will be reruns, unfortunately. But he's hosted before, so he's hosting again. I wasn't real surprised. I'd kind of expected that he would. And I'm hoping, my prediction / wish is, and I wrote about it a little bit, that Tina and Amy will host in December. They have a movie coming out December 18th, and I don't know if they've ever done like a double host of SNL, but that's my dream. So even if they host separately or together, that's what I'm hoping for.
Cool.
And I do know that Stephen Amell has made it his goal for 2016 or 2015. He says his goal is he wants to host SNL. So, and you know how Stephen Amell's fandom is and Arrow is. So I won't be surprised if Stephen Amell finally gets his wish and gets to host SNL this year.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be dope to see. I know you have a man crush on Steven, or lady crush on Stephen Amell, but
he's like, well, I'm so excited because we have Heroes and Villains Con coming up in November, and I'm like so stoked for it. It's like not like I am ready. I'm ready, and I know Charlie's jealous. I'm so sorry, Charlie. I love you, but we're gonna meet everybody, and you're just gonna have to do it through Snapchat. I love you though.
Send me photos of Katie Lotz and Steve.
Send us extra phone battery so we can send you more videos.
Exactly.
Because if you send me photos of the cast of Arrow, at least I'll be there vicariously through you.
That's gonna be an insane weekend. I'm ready for it though. It's gonna be an insane weekend.
All right, so
right now.
anything to add to the show?
What? Oh, anything to add? Is that what you said?
Anything else to add?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, that brings us to Alex, and you are covering Jane the Virgin. So take the reins. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's one of the ones we're covering.
Okay, I'm sorry. For October, she's covering Jane the Virgin. That's what we're talking about. All right. Give me a break. Go ahead.
All right. So on the first season of Jane the Virgin, well, first of all, it's like telenovela style, so it's really dramatic. Basically, everything that can go wrong goes wrong, and it's all really funny. And there's like there's they call it the Latin lover narrator who narrates the entire show, and it's really like satirical and fun. So last season, it's called Jane the Virgin. She was artificially inseminated, so she's a virgin, but she got pregnant, and it happened to be by her like high school crush. So she was engaged to this detective, and then they actually broke up because she kind of fell again for this dreamy. He's a hotel owner, and obviously her high school crush. So they dated most of this first season. And then they kind of broke up towards the end of the season just because a lot of drama involving this plastic surgeon. This woman named Sin Rostro who runs a plastic surgery ring and like was terrorizing the hotel. This does sound like
And
it's so dramatic. And then you find out that the one running the plastic surgery ring is actually his stepmom. And then,
oh my god!
And then
shit happening.
It is psycho, and like this one guy fell on an ice sculpture and was impaled in like the first episode, and like it's insane. So and then Jane's father is actually, they were estranged. Like she didn't know who her father was, and it turned out that he is a soap star. This like really he is like obsessed with his fame, and he has this huge his name is Rogelio de la Vega, and it's just it's very dramatic and fun. But anyway, so in the season finale, Jane had her baby, but it was kidnapped from the hospital by Sin Rostro.
What the hell?
Is this like a soap opera on daytime?
No, it's so dramatic, but it's hilarious. It's so fun. But anyway, so you're freaking out because this baby's been kidnapped, but luckily, within 10 minutes of the first episode, they found the baby. Sin Rostro just wanted this brooch that had all of these contacts on a flash drive in it. Really long story. So there's that. Take a deep breath for a second. But I guess the main things this season is Jane has to pick between her baby daddy and her ex-fiance, they're both great guys and really present in her life. And her ex-fiance, the detective, is the one who got the baby back. So there's that. That's, you know. Let's see. Oh, her mother and her father, who aren't together but started dating again, got married in Vegas drunkenly. And it's on video, and like he's got this huge Twitter following, so like all of his fans are like following him around and pissed. Oh, and the nuns.
Nuns.
No, there are none.
So you got me hooked now. Like, oh, crazy. Nuns.
The nuns. Okay, so
Gotta see the nuns. Oh my God, let's see the nuns.
so these nuns are obsessed with Jane because she's the virgin, you know, like. So anyway, so they had after she had her baby, like all these news crews and nuns were outside of her house, like everybody wanted to see Jane the Virgin and her miraculous baby. So finally she's like, nope, I'm sick of this, because people would be like, oh, I saw her and her baby on the street, and the baby had like a halo around its head. And she finally came out and she was like, oh, you know what, guys, actually, I've had lots of sex. I just lied to my grandma. Like, lying, it's not true, but she just wanted everybody to leave her alone. So.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
So that's basically. And now somebody else, some other villain that we have know nothing about now. I think seemed like they were speaking Russian though at the end of the episode. Is now after Jane and her baby. So I don't. That's gonna be this coming season's.
I love Bridget's face. I'm looking at Bridget's face right now, and she's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I watched the show and I didn't realize there was a new villain, so I missed that part. That's why I was
The very end of the first episode.
I guess I thought it was in Rostro. I'm sorry.
Well, that's kind of what I thought too, but then I was like, wait. I think this is somebody completely new. And then I looked it up, and yes, I think that, I mean, I'm not really sure how Sin Rostro is going to be involved in the future. I'm sure they're not done with, because, so the baby daddy's sister is actually the one who artificially inseminated Jane in the hospital. Very crazy. But anyway, this girl dates Sin Rostro, so that's why I don't think she's gone yet. But anyway, yeah, I think this is a new villain.
This is like an infomercial. Every single time I think you're done, you're like, but wait, there's more.
Nuns.
Well, I'm sorry. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I could go on for like 5 more hours too, but I'll stop, kind of.
Well, I have 2 things to say. First off, this reminds me of Prison Break, where it's like the first season of Prison Break was, okay, they're breaking out of prison, right? And it's this whole like just crazy plot, right? But then they break out of prison, and it's like after that, then why do you still keep calling it Prison Break? So then it's like 3rd season, they're back in prison, that kind of thing. So my question is, it's called Jane the Virgin. If she's already had her kid, then what the fuck? Like, shouldn't that have been the end of the first season? Like, how do you keep going in a show like that?
She's
like,
still a virgin.
She's still a virgin.
Yes.
Are you serious? Like, after like, boop, boop,
No, technically she's still a virgin.
Yeah, technically, medically,
She's still a
not
virgin.
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, but
so,
no.
okay, so because I'm never gonna watch it, so just explain. So because she's artificially inseminated and had a kid, she's still not had sex yet. So that's how they're getting away with the show.
Yes.
So, yeah, her grandmother is super religious and like basically like gave her a flower when she was little and like told her to crumple up the flower and was like, see, you can never uncrumple a flower. Like, wait till you're married. So she's waiting till she's married, and they said she still is, and she is getting married this season. That's what the creator of the show, Jenny Herman, that's what she said. But we don't know to who. It could be to one of the 2 main guys, but also Adam Rodriguez from Magic Mike. is joining the show. He's going to be like her writing teacher or something because she's going to like grad school for writing or something. But anyway, so supposedly he's going to be a love interest too. So I'm not really sure. I honestly have no idea who she'll marry. But then they said maybe they'll just like put a line through the virgin part and it would just be called Jane. Cross out the virgin.
So my other question, I didn't catch what network is this on?
CW.
W.
Oh, dude, I was expecting ABC Family because you know how they have like Pretty Little Liars. Pretty Little Liars is so ridiculous. My wife watches that, and it's like 6 seasons, right, of like this A character, and I'm like, babe, how do you watch this? It's
Nobody
like,
still knows who the fuck A is.
no,
Yeah.
it's like 12 different people, and it's like, it's just so redonkulous. Like, that's what reminds me of Jane the Virgin, where it's like, well, there's nuns, and then a guy in a spacesuit, and there's a fucking zebra running around with a unicorn, and they make love, and they make fucking the Hulk, and it's like, oh my god, are you serious? Like,
You're good.
no,
The thing
go
with Jane the Virgin, it's like a meta telenovela. So it's like, it's all very satirical. It's really well done. I mean, she won a Golden Globe last year. It's been nominated for countless awards and won countless awards last award season. So it's like much higher caliber than stuff like Pretty Little Liars. You know, that's the cool thing about the CW is it's underrated, but there are a lot of great shows on that channel. And
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about it. I mean, most of what we cover on the Game of Nerds is the CW channel. You're looking at, you've got Jane the Virgin, you've got Arrow, Supernatural, Flash, iZombie, Originals, Vampire Diaries. A lot of us, I know, I'm a little bit older than a lot of you, but like Dawson's Creek and everything came off those shows. And I mean, Buffy started there, you know, before it was WB before it was CW. But you know, it's taken a long time for them to get to this point, and I'm very excited to see what they pull out of 2016 because they're going to have Legends of Tomorrow and all those other shows. So it's going to be really interesting to see the next few months what they're going to pull.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you too. All right, it's not the ABC Family, so I apologize, kid.
And ABC Family is not going to be ABC Family. I heard it's going to switch to like Follow Up or something like that. There's going to be
Freeform.
Yeah, it's some craziness. I don't know. I just saw it I'm watching. Andy's watching Harry Potter. Actually, I was watching Harry Potter this morning, and it's still on. So that's the reason it had that little hashtag in the corner. But I guess it's changing too.
Well, all right. Well, okay. So, Alex, I know you go on for the next 4 hours about this redonkulous show, but do you want to give us any theories about this upcoming season or anything under the sun?
So not only is Adam Rodriguez going to be on, but Kesha is going to play her neighbor who hates babies. So that will be hilarious. And Britney Spears is going to be on as like a rival to Rogelio, her father, and somebody else that I'm missing. I can't remember, but you know, but those will be funny. And she, as I said, she's going to get married, and then one other person is going to get married, and I don't know who. But and you know, a telenovela style wedding will be crazy. But you know, I have no idea who this new villain is or what they would want with Jane, because especially since it's not a miracle baby, like it was made in the lab basically. So.
Well, I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to help you with your theories just because it sounds like a fucking ridiculous show. I'm going to say that she gets married this season, and then the husband either dies or gets kidnapped or something ridiculous where she still remains a virgin, because it comes back to the whole Prison Break premise. Like, you can't name a show like this one singular thing and then diverge from it. You know, you have to stick to it or else it's not that. So it's like you have to keep her a virgin for like 5 seasons, because if you become Jane,
Don't
like,
do that to her.
no one wants.
I get what you're saying. And actually, the baby daddy, the reason that he had his sperm frozen basically is because he had cancer. and he only had 2 samples. He cannot reproduce now. So I mean, his cancer could come back. I would hate that, like, because I love him. I love her love interest. So I'm really sad that she even said that. I'm visibly upset right now. Like, I don't know if you can die.
I have to ask you this though, because I know you cover this other show, which I'm obsessed with. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine, okay? Amy and Jake, do you think it's gonna last all season, or is this gonna get cut off?
Okay, so that is the biggest pet peeve of mine, the whole trope where you get a couple together and break them up like so quick because you can't think of anything better to do. Yeah. The thing is, these are the people that did Parks and Rec. So I have a feeling that they might be able to do this, like, and have it like Andy and April and Ben and Leslie. So we'll see. I feel like these characters are different enough that we could really enjoy watching them be together, just like Danny and Mindy on the Mindy Project. Like, I think that we need to get out of the era of breaking up couples and try and not be lazy and find good ways to write them together, you know? So I hope that they last, but I would not be surprised if they broke up.
No. And I know Hosty can talk for hours about the Mindy Project, 'cause that's what we do. Right,
I mean, Bridget and Alex can do that too. For days.
Hosty, let's talk to us about the Mindy Project.
Okay, so the Mindy Project, really now?
Yo, no, hold on. I was gonna say about Sarah, and I was gonna talk about. So go ahead. You can tell the story, but continue. But Hosty, you can tell the story about Sarah.
You do it.
Oh, okay. Well, Sarah, our lovely other contributor for the Mindy Project, Sarah, was busy one week and had made this beautiful embroidery of Danny and Mindy, and she had given it to a friend to give to Mindy Kaling at a book signing, and she had gotten it but didn't know who had given it to her, so she had posted it on Instagram, and it turns out it was Sarah's actual project she had made for her, and so Sarah now Mindy Kaling now knows it's Sarah. And Sarah has been featured on Instagram and Facebook and actually had a wonderful article written about her. So we'll be posting all this on our website. But way to go, Sarah. It's a really awesome project that she did. So claps for Sarah.
Yes.
Okay, Hosty, now it's yours. Sorry.
Okay, so the Mindy Project premiered in September on Hulu, which is like a new home for them. And it's been, like, you can tell that it's the show that Mindy kind of wants to make, as opposed to like being bullied into Fox crap. And so this season she had her baby with Danny, and then they got engaged in the first episode. And now it's sort of just like them trying to figure out how to parent the kids. So she was been staying at home, like I said, home mom for the past few episodes. And then in the last one, Danny's dad had a heart attack, so he has to go to California now, and she is going to sort of go back to work and see how they can work this new dynamic. But so then the episode on Tuesday is going to be Danny and Morgan on a road trip, and that's going to be super exciting. And there's like a secret component, and I don't know what it is, and we're super pumped to see. And yeah, it's been great.
Aww.
It has been.
But you guys have been live tweeting with some really awesome people too.
Yeah, the live tweets have been so fun because all the fandom joins in, because we're so used to having to promote the show because Fox didn't care about it, and we're like super obsessed. And then Beth Grant, who plays Beverly on the show, she's been joining in and like giving us behind the scenes scoop and tweeting with us, and she's been great. And then the costume designer Sal Perez has been awesome. And then the writers also, they've been like chiming in. Like last week, Chris Schleicher, he like gave us some. Mindy had made a enemies list for Leo. And then Princess Charlotte was one of Leo's enemies, and we were like, why isn't Prince George on it? And then Chris was like, no, George is an ally to Leo, and Charlotte's the enemy. So, that's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite was Louis Tomlinson's future child.
Yeah,
was on
that was cool.
Yeah. No. It's been really. What, Nico?
Can I just say, me and John are over here like, so when are they going to be done talking about the Mindy Project? Like, anytime the Mindy Project
Leave me out of this. Everybody's speaking alien to me. I'm not telling them to stop.
Into the fire, Nico. You're throwing yourself into the fire, especially when you know you're outnumbered by the girls. You know not to put yourself in that position.
I'm speaking for the minority, okay? For the guys watching this, you know,
well, that's the thing. a lot of it, when the Mindy Project was on Fox, there was no promotion, there was no gung ho behind it at all, and it really was, like as Hosky said, it was more for the fans, and the fans had to get behind it. The fans had to keep doing it, and now when Fox canceled it, they were just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And Mindy Kaling and the rest of the cast and the fandom were fighting hard for it, and it didn't take Hulu long to pick it up. I think it was only like 2-3 weeks, and then Hulu had it, and it was done over with. And you can tell the exact difference. If you watch last season to this season, it's completely 100% different, because this is the show she wanted in the beginning. And she just couldn't, because Fox said, no, you can't.
Yeah.
And I won't be surprised if we see this trend a lot more, especially with Fox, because we know Fox screws shows left and right. I mean, look at, Fringe got stopped, Terra Nova after a few seasons. What was the show with Keith Urban, what's his frickin' face? Carl Urban from Star Trek.
They're Being Human.
Yeah. So there's a lot of shows that Fox has screwed over. Firefly is the largest one that everyone remembers.
Thank you for recognizing Firefly. Could you please bring it back? Like, come on.
Arrested Development.
Okay. So this is why I'm saying a lot. I'm not going to be surprised if shows start getting canceled that have a big fan base. Like, I'm surprised Hannibal didn't move. That's one I'm very surprised about. Constantine, I knew wasn't going to make the move when it went. But a lot of shows, I'm going to say, if they get canceled, they're going to try that route, because it is such a large market, and the only difference you have is Netflix puts all the episodes out at once. Hulu is going to do them every week, just like TV. So those are the two formats, but each format's doing well. Look at Daredevil. Daredevil and Jessica Jones comes out next month. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these internet formats start to take over our lives and promoting for them, because like Hosky says, all these internet shows versus having them on cable and whatnot, the fans really have to promote those stream shows.
Yeah.
I still want to say you guys suck. We're still in the dark, okay? It doesn't make it any less different.
Let's talk about crazy, or talk about Doctor Who this season.
Well, you know what? I was going to save that for last, so I was going to let Charlie go first to be a gentleman. So let's talk about
that's right. Charlie's got Gotham.
Yes.
Yes. I like how your head just popped up. You're like, yes.
So dramatic.
Yes.
I'm all about Gotham.
Broker status, like, yes, I'm here.
I'm sorry. I was texting and I had a moment. I'm sorry. But then you said Charlie and Gotham, and I peed a little. I got excited. We're talking about Gotham because I was texting. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Charlie.
It is my turn, right? I just want to clarify that.
Yes, your turn.
All right. So Gotham actually started on Monday, September 21st, and we got to discuss it at Part 1 of Fall TV Domination, and I'm back again to chew your ear off about what's happened so far. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but we are now 4 episodes in. The 5th one will be premiering this upcoming Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Come live tweet with me. Gonna shamelessly plug that in. So, a lot has happened, and we're 4 episodes in. One of the main villains has been killed. Sarah Essen was killed by that same main villain. I mean, it has been just a roller coaster of laughter and death. That's basically how it's happened. So far, we have had some of the most exciting things for me, because I am a shipper. I ship things. That's how I go. And Edward Nigma and Kristen Kringle have officially set sail. They have left the docks. I'm so excited about it. Alfred is one of the most hated characters right now, which is kind of shocking because he's been a fan favorite since the first episode of Season 1. And Sean Pertwee is the best. I could listen to him talk for 6 years. Like, I love his voice. I don't know what it is. I love him. He's Scottish and adorable. But it's like listening to Sean Connery. But he actually laid his hands on Selena Kyle, who at the moment is like 12, 13, somewhere around there. And nobody's happy about that because she literally showed up in that moment to hang out with Bruce Wayne, and he was still holding a grudge against her for something, so Alfred hit her, and it wasn't a cool moment. Nobody likes Alfred right now. Nobody's pleased with him. Bruce has officially started his training, which will lead up to becoming Batman. So they finally discovered the Batcave, which was an exciting moment in the beginning of the season. I'm trying to think of other points because there's so much going on.
They brought in Lucius Fox, which I think the actor for that character is the best one. I mean, if you're going to go up against Morgan Freeman in the Dark Knight trilogy, that's the actor to put in that spot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's treating it as if he is a younger version of Morgan Freeman's Lucius Fox, and that's what I love about it. And they did bring him in because if you've seen the show, you know that Alfred had a moment where he kind of panicked over Bruce starting to become what he is and destroyed a computer that could have answered pretty much all of Bruce's questions. So they had to bring Lucius in to fix the computer because Alfred's an idiot and nobody likes him. I'm going to continue to say that until he redeems himself. So, on top of that, they brought in Silver St. Cloud, who, the little girl who plays her is adorable. She's got these cute freckles. She's just the cutest little thing. And I'm trying to think of what else. Victor Zsasz has apparently become a fan favorite this season. He is, I've described him in my live tweets as a murderous nerd. Like, he's so funny. He gets excited over the stupidest things, and he's very adorable, and also he kills people, but that's a minor setback. Just go with it. He's awesome.
What do you think your predictions for the rest of the seasons are going to be, Charlie?
It's a little bit it's a little bit hard because they've already blown any prediction I had out of the water. I think I don't want to say it because if I say it, it makes it true, but I feel like they're gonna get rid of Barbara Keene by the end of the season because right now she's just sort of in this, polygamous relationship with two of the main villains, Theo Galavan and his twin sister Tabitha, and I'm worried that she's going to expend her time with Gotham too quickly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's
I feel like this season is so much faster than last season. Like, they shot out of the cannon and they were ready to go. Season 1 was much slower. We had to get all this backstory. And now, when they came to us at Comic-Con and said Gotham Season 2 is going to be about the villains, they were not lying when they said this is going to be about the villains.
No, not at all.
And it's totally been that way. So I think you're right when you say I have no idea what's going to happen because there is no telling. And there's not really a comic. There's nothing we can really base it on because there's so many different Batman, origin stories and where, versions of that to go off of.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't happy about the fact that it doesn't really go off of any solid comic book, and I think that's because they can't now predict what's going to happen. It's basically like, the writers are actually the fan fiction writers, and their show ended up getting on TV. Like, that's what I feel like has happened. But I'm worried about the lifespan of a lot of my favorite characters because it's become very apparent that they do not care who they kill off in the show. They just kill things. It's crazy.
Poor Charlie. She's like, I mentally can't handle this show. I'm glad that I just covered this show because this is enough for me.
But I will be live tweeting it, so go see that because I'm hilarious, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to see me live tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Super modest.
Nobody said I had to be humble.
well, at this point, after seeing the episodes you've seen so far, any theories going forward, like anything you want to wrap up with?
I do still think my Barbara Keene theory is plausible because they have played a lot towards her hatred for Jim Gordon. Though I don't want it to happen because Harvey Bullock is one of, he's become one of my favorites. Everybody hated him at first, but shut up, I love everybody.
Except Alfred.
Yeah,
for
except Alfred. Nobody likes Alfred right now, though. It's like a fan,
You're all
fandom
banding
just
together
yes.
to hate
We
Alfred.
did. He has to redeem himself because basically what happened in that moment was last season one of his oldest friends stabbed him and left him for dead, sold Bruce out to the bad guys who were working at Wayne Enterprises, and did this all for drug money. And spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen season 1, oh well.
No, I haven't seen season 1. No,
Suck it up, you'll be fine. So Bruce and Selena found out about it, and they started to try and track the guy down. When they found him, he threatened to go to the same bad guys at Wayne Enterprises and tell them that they were snooping around. So Selena Kyle made an executive decision and pushed him out a window. And that's why Alfred hit her, was to get a little bit of, I guess, revenge on his lost friend, his lost, terrible, shitty friend that shouldn't have been a friend. So, yeah, I'm not okay with it. I won't be ever, and I hate rewatching the episode just for that part. I kind of like fast forward through it sometimes, but just I'm
Next
worried
week
about.
will be a new week. Next week will be a new week, and you
I
may
know.
change your opinion.
And I'll probably love Alfred again if he does anything to redeem himself. I am worried about Selena because she's in that. Don't laugh at my pain. All right. Just,
You don't understand the situation I'm in.
you know my name, not my story.
I love it. Oh my god.
Selena, though, she's in that stage where she's still trying to learn who she is. She's becoming Catwoman.
Catwoman. That's all there is to it. She's going to be Catwoman, and I think that character alone, they're going to toy with her for a while. She's going to be one of those things where we think we know where she's going, but we have no idea.
And I love that how the actress Cameron Bicondova has played it so far, because that's a very complex character to play. And for someone of her age to be able to play a character so complex is awesome. She's going to go to some far places.
Yeah.
Well,
That's all I had.
I say we talk about Doctor Who now because Shannon, can I just talk about my theory? Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna have a chance to write it. I really just want to say it out there.
You have exactly, because here's the thing when Nico starts on his theory. I love you, Nico. But when you start on this theory, it ends up being a 45-minute fucking theory on how these sunglasses. So you have 3 minutes.
Okay, so bottom line, this season Doctor Who, he's thrown away the sonic screwdriver, right, and thrown on these sonic glasses. So it's like, and everybody's outraged, right? And Steve Moffat's just like, woo, eating it up. Well, my theory, my golden theory, because if you're a Doctor Who fan, you know at the end of the season, who's coming back? River Song. That is right. On Christmas special, River Song's coming back. So my theory is the doctor's going to give River Song the sonic screwdriver. Since he's already made the glasses into, being sonic-y, he has no use for the actual sonic screwdriver. And the basis for this is, back in Silence of the Library, what did River Song have? She had a sonic screwdriver. And he didn't know why. We've never seen her get one since then. And then all of a sudden this season, he has a new way of using his glasses. Like, come on, like, it has to happen. And this is where Shannon loses me, because then I start going off on theories of stuff. But that's my theory, is that, you know, on the Christmas special, we're going to see that, you know, we're going to see that handoff. And I'm really looking forward to that. And that's where I started losing her, because then I say, oh, we see whatever and whatever. But but I can go for hours.
With Doctor Who, the problem with Doctor Who is, unlike a lot of other shows where you can kind of predict the arc that it's going to go on, no. Doctor Who has this lovely thing called the Moffat mindfuck, where you have no idea what Stephen Moffat is going to do. You think you know where it's going? You are fucking wrong. You will get like 9 episodes into a series and you'll be like, why is this happening? And then like 5 series on from that, you'll get the answer to that episode. It is just a complete mindfuck, so that's why at this point with Doctor Who is nothing but theories. The only thing you can do is theorize about Doctor Who, because you will never know what that episode is until you actually sit down and watch that episode.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, I'm bringing up a theory to a future episode that hasn't even happened yet, of an episode from fucking 5 seasons ago that, I mean, when you're done hard, it's like, and that's
answer from an episode 5 seasons ago.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, because of like, Steve Moffat probably sits on the shitter every day and is like, how can I fuck with these guys? Like, that's exactly what he probably does. Like, I'm going to write this in an episode and then talk about it 20 years from now. And then for 20 years, we're going to have crazy mind theories, you know? Like, it's just another thing to love about Doctor Who, but it's just like, oh my God, like, Gallifrey. We've been wondering about Gallifrey for seasons, and it's like, are we going to see it this season?
And he said, and last season he goes, I'm going home, I'm going home. So we have, what, 3, 4 episodes in now to this season? Not one mention of Gallifrey. Now I'm over it. Like, at this point, I'm just like, okay, I guess we're never ever going to go home. Like, you're just going to travel in the damn time box. All right, buddy, I'm down for your adventure this week.
Right? I don't know.
I've like stopped having expectations about this show, because one, I know every episode is good. It's just based on the subject that they're writing about and what writer they have on staff that week. And they have put so much time, effort, and money into these episodes. I mean, they're awesome. They kick ass. They entertain us all. It's really the celebrities and who they're bringing back that makes it fun for the fans. Because, like Nico says, we try and connect the dots from the series before. And you're right. There has to be something going on with River Song, the sonic screwdriver. But here's the thing. Here's the thing everyone forgets. The Doctor's timeline is going this way. River Song's timeline is going that way. So
hey, I'm sorry, I gotta correct you.
Hold on. If you're saying that she gets the screwdriver, then that is the last moment she meets the Doctor, which means we will have no more River Song after Christmas.
Alright, gotta correct you. I have to do this. I'm sorry. And this is why I started going off on tangents, because of this thing. Okay, okay, I'm just gonna go for it, okay?
He's like mentally preparing himself to like tell me how it is.
Listen, okay, the bottom line, this is what happens. You're right. It's going like this, right? So if she gets a screwdriver and goes back in time, he's fucked with his sunglasses forever going this way, right? But this is my crazy theory. Like, I know the handoff's going to happen at Christmas. It has to happen, right? It has to fucking happen. But my theory is that he has to go back to the library, and I bet you fucking anything that he somehow rescues River, because I hope, I feel it in my soul.
That would the astronaut suit Claire is wearing.
Dude, I'm just saying, like he has to go back eventually to the library to get the screwdriver, right? Because if that's the only one in existence, and River gets it when they meet, and she goes this way with this, he's gonna need that screwdriver at some point. So that being said, he's gonna need to go back anyways eventually, and I hope and pray on that day that he rescues her, because
he can't go back and get the screwdriver. The screwdriver was screwed when she got herself in the machine and uploaded herself to the library. She destroyed the sonic screwdriver that moment.
No. The screwdriver he left there. Remember, he
I
left
like
the
how
screwdriver.
everyone else's face is like, what the hell are you guys talking about? You're all
Nico's right. Nico's right. When she uploaded herself to the computer, remember the doctor and Donna had left the screwdriver on like a banister in the library. And then when they started to leave...
Now I gotta watch the episode again. I don't have time for this crap.
Hey, Shannon, I have thought about this. You just made me mess up my glasses. Dude, I thought about this, okay? I've thought about this. This is why I brought it up to you. It was on the banister. Here's the book. Here's the screwdriver, and he walks away. That's what I'm saying. Like, fucking Moffat mindfuck once again, okay? Go watch that shit. I'm telling you.
Hey, you better GIF this. This is our new favorite GIF.
Will do.
And he walks away.
And he
Call
walks
it a GIF, though. Don't call it a GIF.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Call it a GIF. Please.
Listen, I got to apologize for anyone watching this because I get a little crazy. But when it comes to Doctor Who, it's just like, and River Song, like, it just touches my heart in a soft, nice, beautiful way. So you guys have to watch the show.
The Doctor and River Song is one of the best, I think, it's not even really a companion. She's married to him. It's one of the best combinations that has really been on TV that I love. It's just a very weird relationship that they have, but it's very, very much them. And I always get excited when Alex Kingston comes back onto set for Doctor Who because she's an amazing actress, hands down, one of the best actresses ever. And like I said, I'm excited for Christmas. I just don't have, like I said, I've just stopped at making theories and expectations on it because every time I say a theory and then watch the episode, I was so wrong. I wasn't even close. I was like out in left field, sleeping under a rock. Like, I'm so off.
But that's the thing, is at the end of the day, Stephen Moffat has just done such a badass job with this show that he's still able to stump us time and time again. Whereas some producers, it's like you might have a mind-boggling revelation once a season. I mean, dude, from the beginning of this season, fucking the Doctor comes out on a tank playing guitar, with sonic glasses. It's like there's always something happening where it's like, whoa, like you're breaking the mold. He takes the mold, breaks it again, takes the mold, breaks it again, like every single season. So it's.
But this season is so much faster compared to last season. Last season was so slow, and this season's so much better. Hello, Nathaniel Ethan. How are you, my love? Hi, I love you.
You just want to say hi, sorry.
No, of course. He has to say hi to Auntie. I love him too. This season is so much faster compared to last season, and I think we finally have gotten 12 into a role that we like and that he's enjoying. And I think at the end of the day that this season is going to be another kicker. We're going to lose Clara at the end of the season, so we're bound to have a new adventure next series. So it's just really going to depend, and it's going to also, Moffat's got Sherlock to deal with too, so he's splitting his time this season, so it'll be interesting to see how Sherlock turns out, how Doctor Who ends this Christmas, and 2016 is looking pretty dang good. So,
and Alex is apparently dying, so.
Yeah, poor Alex over there, you poor thing.
Rough week.
I feel you. Well, we'll wrap up. I wanted to say, don't forget about our live tweets, all of our fans. We have a live tweet now every single day of the week, Sunday to Sunday. Someone on our staff is live tweeting something. I know Sundays is John and Zombies. Charlie is on Mondays with Gotham. Jamie's got Scorpion. Tuesdays is Mindy Project with Hosty and Sarah. You've got Flash with Rachel. You have Limitless with Marcos. Wednesday is You're the Worst with Sarah. Thursday is Bones with Marla and How to Get Away with Murder with Tiffany. Friday's Rain with Megan, and Saturday's Doctor Who with me. Yes, I did it all! Woo-hoo!
I'm happy for you. You were iffy in the middle, and then you just blasted through.
Well, Tuesday really messes me up because Tuesdays are packed night, and so I always get a like, oh, did I forget anybody? But I managed, got everyone. We're good. We're good. Everyone's
Proud of
accounted
you.
for. Follow us on Twitter at the Game of Nerds, and everywhere else you know where to find us.
And if not, look.
That was
if not,
very
Google us, you'll find
Hey, and remember, it's the Game of Nerds, not Game of Nerds. Okay?
yeah,
Thank
you have to type in the, or you will not get us. You will get some game. You don't want to play a game. You want to come play with us. That is the
game.
deal.
That sounded a little bit more sexual than I think you planned on making.
No,
You want me to hold the knife?
we're fun little people who love their nerd world and just get way too excited when we have the opportunity to express it. That's just how we roll.
Yes.
So, you guys are
All
so
right.
silly.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Till
All right,
then.
guys.